You just look at the camera.
Yeah, that's good. Then I'm looking at you.
Yeah. And so just short answer questions because
Sure.
this is kind of a it has to be a PowerPoint kind of, so
Okay.
it's not really like an hour long.
Okay, you want short answers.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So I hope you feel comfortable with these questions. I worked out with my
All right.
teacher. She want to know where are you from?
It's an interesting question. I was raised in the military. My father was a career officer, and so was I. I was born in Dallas, Texas. I never saw it. I was 2 months old when we left. I saw it as an adult when I came back. I claim Montana as home because that's where I did high school and college.
Okay. What age did you go into the Army?
I went in the Air Force.
Yeah.
I was in the Air Force, and I went at the age of 21.
Did you get drafted or did you volunteer?
I volunteered. The draft was going on at that time, yes. I went into what's called ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps, in college. So upon completing my bachelor's degree, I also was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force.
Is this I've never met a military person before, so it's kind of an honor. Once you got to war, what was it like?
That is an awful broad question. I'd been trained. I was a pilot, and I flew the F-4 Phantom, the F-4D, and I'd been trained to fly. I spent a year in I'm giving you a long answer to a short question, but I have to do that. You have to understand where we came from.
Yeah.
We spent a year training. Then we went and spent 6 months specifically at our home base learning how to fly. Then we were deployed over to Southeast Asia. I was at Takli, Takhli, Takli Royal Thai Air Base, and we flew F-4Ds out of there. And when you say, what was it like? It was frightening. It was exciting. You felt like you were accomplishing something. We were given missions to fly, and we did them, and we came back successful. And that was the best part.
Were you sent to train in Texas?
Say again?
Were you sent to train in Texas?
No. I take that back. Yes, I was. My undergraduate pilot training was at Reese Air Force Base in Lubbock, Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what.
And I spent a year there.
Yeah, I think that was in our Texas history book, so we were interested in that. Since you were in Texas, what was it like there? Was it different from Montana, or?
Oh yes. Now, when I say being from Montana, you have to understand I lived all over the world as a child with my family, my dad in the military, and then myself. So that I say Montana because people say you don't sound like you're from Texas. So, but yes, I spent high school and college in Montana. We were in Missoula, Montana, which is right in the mountains. Wonderful snow-covered mountains and trout fishing and hunting and fishing and all that. Got to Reese Air Force Base in Lubbock. It's as flat as the table you're sitting on. Perfectly flat. No mountains to fly into. Sandstorms. I'd never seen those before. That was exciting.
Were you there during the Dust Bowl?
No, the Dust Bowl was in the 40s and 50s.
Oh, okay. So
no, Lubbock had. I was there in 1969, and the dust storms are they're today. They come around around Christmas time, November, December. The wind blows the dirt over from New Mexico, but it was hard. You couldn't fly. All the airplanes were grounded. But that was different, and no mountains was different. But it was nice. It was fun.
Well, when you're in our book, it was describing how a lot of people after the JFK assassination, how Lady Bird Johnson became president. When he sent y'all to Vietnam, did you know how the people's reactions were?
I don't, because I wasn't there at that time. I was in Vietnam in 1972. Mm-hmm. Kennedy died in 63. Okay. I do know that the military were concerned that the decisions of bombing certain specific targets were being made too high. They weren't being made in country by the commanders. They had to go all the way up to the president, and he had to okay bombing a bridge. And that is not the way the military works. You know, if you need to do it, you do it now. You don't wait 5 days.
How'd you feel about it?
Feel about what?
Like how everything was whenever you were there. Like all like you were telling me about, like not doing it in 5 days, but doing it right there.
Things had changed. Well, don't forget, I was there in 1972. 1973, it shut down.
Oh, okay.
So we were still doing our missions. We were still flying. We're still dropping bombs. We did not have the problem of having the White House to have to okay everything. By then, we had a new president and things had changed. But they also could possibly see the war ending out on the horizon somewhere. That was, we heard that.
Um, how long were you there? 1 year, right?
No, I was actually there 6 months. I
Uh,
was there on a 1 year tour, but I was over 6 months, and they started drawing us down and bringing us back because the war was winding down. Yeah. But yes, it was a 1 year tour, but I was there 7 months, just under 7 months.
um, was it hard to continue usual life after the war?
Initially, yes. I had not been in combat before. I was young. I had flown for a year and a half or so I was a very good pilot, but I'm not flown in a combat situation. So coming back after that, the big change was the speed. On Monday, you were flying. On Tuesday, you left Vietnam. On Thursday, you were in the United States. And on Friday, you're back at your home base again. And it happened so quickly. The Second World War, the troops came back by ship, so they had almost 2 months on board ship to relax, to get their life back together. And in our case, it was such a short duration from when you were in combat to now you're walking the streets. So that part was interesting. Yeah, but getting back home and having hot showers, that was nice.
um, was segregation an issue? Like
No, not. We did not see in my area. We did not see segregation at all. I was an officer. I was a pilot. All pilots are officers in the Air Force, and we had both African Americans and Caucasians flying. There was no difference between anybody, none at all. The mechanics were the same things. We loved them dearly because they kept our airplanes flying. They kept us safe, and we didn't care what color or nationality they were. Could they do their job correctly?
Um, and out of my curiosity, what I have two questions. The first one is, what do you see like? What do you think what was your best accomplishment after Vietnam? Like once you got back together and you came here and everything. What do you think was your best accomplishment?
That's again a difficult question. You look back and you realize when you came back, from when I came back until now, I've had 3 children. They've all gone through college. They've all got multiple degrees. I picked extra degrees up myself. I retired after almost 24 years in the Air Force. I went on to a career in the corporate world. Retired from that. I was a college professor for 8 years. Retired from that, and now I'm working for a family-owned company. So I guess the greatest accomplishment that I felt was the feeling of success, that I knew I could do something. If the challenge was there, I could accomplish that. So with all of what I just told you, all those different things that I did, I was successful.
And my last question before we end the interview, from when you're to now, from there, what like I just want to imagine seeing from the technology, from coming from like here Toyota, from going to a car that like only went 18 miles per hour, like seeing
The
that
technology is so far beyond what we were able to do. The aircraft that I flew was the F-4D Phantom. It is no longer in the inventory. The Guard doesn't fly it. But if you want to see one of those, you have to go to a museum. They don't fly them anymore.
Wow.
The F-16 Falcon replaced that. That's being phased out. So you could see the weapon systems last 10 to 20 years, and they quickly change. The bombs that I dropped were called iron bombs. They were just hard metal bombs that we dropped and exploded, 500 pounders, that kind of stuff. Now they've got the laser technology. They've got the smart bombs. We didn't have those. Even those that flew air to air, when they used the air to air missiles, there it was more heat seeking, and now you don't even see the enemy, and your computer on board the aircraft does everything. So technology is leaps and bounds. The first computer I ever saw that I used when I was in the military or any time was in 1980. I never used a computer before. I'd never seen one. So I started using it then. So my computer knowledge is way less than what you are at the age of 11 or 12 years old, because I wasn't raised doing it. My 2-year-old granddaughter shows Grandpa how to get his phone to work properly, because she knows how to get in there. So Your question me on technology. Technology has so far grown beyond anything I can imagine. I'd love to see what's going to happen to my kids around my age. It's so interesting. But technology is a wonderful thing. And that's the fun part, is seeing your generation coming forward. The technology you know today is more than I knew as a young adult, because it's available, and it wasn't available then. It's not that anybody's smarter, it's the availability of the technology. And whether they got on the drawing boards now, nobody can imagine. It's fantastic. So I think technology is the thing that's driving everything.
And any last words to say?
Yes, I have something for you.
Oh.
This is a patch from the outfit that's not from the Vietnam, but it's the same outfit I flew in Vietnam. I also flew with them back in 1979 out of Holloman. This is for the 7th TAC Fighter Squadron. That is called a bunyip, B-U-N-Y-I-P. It's an Australian devil, and it came about because the 7th TAC Fighter Squadron began in the early 1940s while stationed in Australia. So they used the bunyip, which is the, as I say, the Aborigine devil, as their symbol, and this is what we flew. And you wear it on your right shoulder. And I'd like to give that to you.
Oh, thank you.
You may keep that.
So much. Appreciate it.
And I've enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And I hope you
so
do well
much.
in your project.
Thank you
And
so
anytime
much.
I can help you. So you take
so
care,
much.
guy. And enjoy that. You may keep that.
Thank
And
you
here's
so
all
much.
right,
You sure
thank
about that?
Oh, I have several, but that's not the one that we flew in Vietnam. It's the same outfit, but just a different patch.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you so
Let me
much.
say bye to your dad before I head on out. Where is he? Is he down here somewhere? Alex, are you available? Say bye. Sure. Now, how many? You got brothers and sisters, right?
I only have one sister.
One sister.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's at track practice right now. Because tomorrow they're
I'm sorry, I was just tying my shoes.
I know. That takes 2 hands, and we're not smart. We're too old. You know? Why don't we get Velcro like the kiddos?
I know. That's just.
I gave him a little gift. This is his to keep. This is a patch that I wore.
Oh, okay.
And
That's very nice.
this is the same outfit that I flew with in Vietnam, but this is not the Vietnam patch. I also flew with the same squadron back in 1978 and 79 on Holloman Air Force Base.
Wow.
So I have several of these, and of course I want my grandson to have and stuff like that. But if you would like to have it, I would love to.
No, it's really nice of you.
Yeah, that's fun. It's something you won't find.
Keep it with all your.
Yeah, just
awards
fun,
that you
fun
do.
stuff. Yeah, your fun stuff. You know, it's not something to throw out. If you don't want it, give it back. But anyway, all right, guys, I'm heading home.
Yeah, that's my.
Oh, is this the family?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, well, yeah. You I've seen kind of from a distance because you got weird hours working convenience stores. But I've seen your wife. In fact, I waved at her earlier, I think, and she's heading on out in the minivan.
Yeah.
Yep. She knew I was coming over, I think, so she's checking on me.
And that's my daughter.
All right. And how old is she now?
She's turning 15 in July.
Turning 15. Okay, so you're the baby.
Yeah.
Look how tall he is. Huh?
I know. She's jealous.
Yeah, well, I was asking him on we moved here summer of 2006 when we moved in the house.
Oh,
We've
okay.
been here 7 years this summer.
Yeah, we moved here in 1999.
Okay. We moved in the area in 05 because I was at Glenn College. I was a direct out there for a while. Then we moved into the house in 06. 06. So I've seen you grow.
Yeah.
He's gone from here to being taller than you. Hate to tell you, Dad.
Yeah.
Now listen. We have 3 sons, and the youngest is 35. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean they're all. I'm on Medicare, so I'm old. Is that thing still running? Anyhow, I still win because I cheat. Remember that with the boys. I still win because I cheat.
Yeah, no, he's grown up, and my daughter too, and it's really good,
Well, I'm glad you came down and asked. I'm glad to see the young people.
It's good, they are getting to learn this American history, and for me, I cannot help you much.
Oh, well, I hear an accent, but where?
I'm from India.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. Now, of all the travels around the world, I've never been there, but my grandfather, my mom's a Brit, he was in the Khyber Pass with the British Army for, back in the, 30s and 40s, kind of a long time. The British Army was pretty controlling over there for a long time. Until you guys threw them out.
Well,
that's interesting.
Out,
but I've never been there. All throughout Southwest Asia.
I lived most of my life over here.